Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to solve our skillrack daily challenge using Python programming language. Before going to logic, if you didn't subscribe to our channel, then subscribe right now and make our work more meaningful.
Let us solve today's DC using Python programming language. A button in a stopwatch is used for both start and stop of the timer in the watch. A program have to accept integer n and n unique integers representing the times when the button was pressed. Initially, the timer was set to 0. The program have to print the time displayed on the stopwatch after pressing the button for n times. If the stopwatch is still running, then we have to print -1. So now let us consider for our test case. So in this test case, we can see that n is equal to 4 and n integers are passed as input. So during the first press, the stopwatch time is 0. So let us have a variable called isStop, which is equal to true. So at 0, isStop is equal to false. Now after 0, the next integer is 3. So at 3, the stopwatch is stopped. So isStop is equal to 2. So for finding the time, we will be subtracting it 3 minus 0, which is equal to 3, and isStop is equal to 0. Now we have to add this 3 to the total timings. So let us have a variable called total timings. Total time, which is equal to 3, and now for the next integer, that is 74, isStop is equal to false, and for the next integer, that is 87, the stopwatch is stopped, so isStop is equal to true. So for 87, isStop is equal to true, and for calculating the time, we have to subtract it from 74. So 87 minus 74 is 13, so 3 plus 13, which is equal to 16. So our total time is 16. isStop, which is equal to true. Sorry, false. At 87, the watch is stopped, so isStop is equal to true. The total timing is 16. So if the stopwatch is still running means, then we have to print -1 as our output. So 16 will be printed as our output. So now let us solve for our second test case. In this test case, n is equal to 5 and we are having 5 integers here. So total time is equal to 0 and isStop is equal to true at initial. So for the first start of the stopwatch, 3, so isStop, which is equal to false, and in the second stop, 6, so isStop is equal to true, and for finding the total timings we have to subtract it. So 6 minus 3, which is equal to 3, so we have to add this 3 to the total timings. and then the next integer is 10, is stop is equal to false, and then the next integer is 11, is stop which is equal to true, and for finding the timings we have to subtract it. So 11 minus 10, so 1 will be added to the total timing, and then the next integer is 18, so is stop is equal to false, and after 18 we are having no integers, so the stopwatch is still running. So if the stopwatch is still running means we have to print -1 as our output. So -1 will be printed as our output. Now let us implement our logic using Python 3. First let us get the integer n as input from the user. So n is equal to input, and let us get the time as list from the user, that is list of input, and then let us pass our condition. If n modulo 2 not equal to 0, then we have to print -1. So because in this case we can see that n is equal to 5 and 5 modulo 2 not equal to 0, so here -1 is printed. The stopwatch is still running, so -1 is printed. Now in the else part, let us have a empty list called display time, so which is equal to display time, which is equal to time of CTR plus 1 minus time of CTR for CTR in range 0, n, and here the step index is 2. So this line will do nothing but if the time is, let us consider this test case. So in this test case we can see that the first integer is 0 and the second one is 3. So 3 minus 0 is 3. So this 3 will be stored in the display time. And next one, 87 minus 74. So here it is 3 and here it is 13. So this 3 and 13 will be stored in the display time. So after storing all this, finally we have to print the sum of the elements in display time. So print sum of display time. This will be our required code to solve today's DC.